Good morning, Sir Carlo, and now I will be discussing about the empowerment, advocacy, and participatory development my report in CSC. Learning objectives to understand how empowerment, advocacy, and participatory can be critical in community development. Introduction. In this lesson, we will expound on community empowerment, advocacy, most importantly, how to effectively reach out to the public and induce participatory development. So, the birth of community action. Community action originated in the United States during a time of social problems such as poverty, drugs, and crime, particularly in urban and suburban areas. The U.S. government, under the President Lyndon Johnson, enacted the Economic Opportunity Act of 1964, which became the focal point of the community action initiatives. So, community action comes from United States under um the reign of President Lyndon Johnson. So, he enacted the Economic Opportunity Act of 1964 um, to reduce the problem they're facing, such as poverty, drugs, crime, and other problems. Okay. This led to the implementation of projects and programs aimed at protecting citizens such as President Lyndon Johnson's War on Poverty, which focused on the basic needs like job creation, food security, health, education, and financial assistance, instead of resorting to violence or detention. The state employed peaceful means to understand the root causes of social problems and find solution. So President Lyndon Johnson War on Poverty provides the needs such as job, food security, health education, and financial assistance to mitigate the problems of their country. We will now come to the basics of community empowerment. Empowerment is a driving force behind community development, combining power relations and providing capability access and support for individual and groups to fulfill their goals. It achieves this through capacity building measures, basic needs, provision, and opportunities to showcase potential and various aspects. Community empowerment extends engagement participation to long-term development external welfare. A community is fully empowered when its members mobilize for the common good. We will now come to the public sector and community empowerment. This public sector is fundamentally controlled by the government. As such, it has a very specific take on community empowerment, which is state-centric. The leading agency that ensures social community development is the Development of Social Welfare and Development, or DSWD. It is a central government agency that is tasked to create welfare initiatives for the efficient distribution of government aid to those in need. It is also mandated to deputize the police to enforce the law against violators and abusers of minors. Section 4 mandate. Number 1, to protect and rehabilitate the physically and mentally handicapped and SONE disabled constituents for effective social functioning. Number 2, provide an integrated welfare package to its constituents on the basis of their needs and coordinate the service facilities required from such as department or agencies, governmental and non-governmental, which can be can best provide them. Number three, arrest the further deterioration of the socially disabling or dehumanizing condition of the disadvantaged segment of the population at the community level. And number four, lastly, advocate for policies and measures addressing social welfare concerns. The four main pillars of the SWD's mandate extend differently abled and individual coordination with government agencies, primarily LGUs, in implementing community action program in force and civil rights, and finally, the advocacy of policies that important for the citizens. These core mandates dictate the programs of the populace and thus are important in advancing our needs for social development. So overall, the DSWD initiatives cascade over multiple areas of community development. This pattern is the effect of globalization and changes in community needs that are constantly being monitored by the state. The DSWD has also taken steps in ensuring that its project creates an impact on the community while keeping it in mind the sustainability of its basic service such as pension support, adaptation, feeding programs, and transient housing. The agency has also been this the central in community empowerment through training and agency consultation. So we will now come to the private sector and community empowerment. Okay. The private sector also contribute to community development in various levels. Way in processes. The private sector is the division of our society that is not under the government control. The sector includes private companies, non-governmental organizations, society organization, people's organization, and other non-public collectives. To continue, social development project is not simply the burden of the government and his age of globalization in collaboration. The dividing lines between local and global and between private and public have been blurred by collaborative community action. So when I come to the corporate social responsibilities, corporation often seen as a power-hungry, profit-seeking entities have evolved into partners for social change during the Industrial Revolution. Worker faced a harsh condition and has no rights. From the 1980s, the early 20th century, workers demanded their rights and formed labor unions. Labor unions have played a crucial role in the evolution of the labor rights and business ethics by using peaceful tactics like strikes, pickets, and negotiations. Towards the 20th century, businesses started to shift from having a profit only mindset to incorporating ethical standards of doing business. Early on, ethical business practices were considered expensive and pointless. This, however, has debunked later on upon the realization that business ethics actually aided in facilitating and managing businesses, thus giving a corporate institution a code of conduct which imposed on them to prevent the red tape and corrupt activities that affect business profitability. Okay, during the 1990s until the start of the new millennium, businesses started recognizing stakeholders not only within the organization but also outside of it. So, businesses started engaging community action by looking not only on what communities need but also how they can be supported to achieve sustainability. And termingly, of business and community service creates avenues of collaboration never seen before as business firms see the value of protecting the communities they are in. So here are the example of corporate social responsibilities. Ethical production practice that protects the rights of its workers and community among other norms. Consideration of business impact on political, economic, social, cultural, technological, and environmental factors. Observance of laws and state policies. Support for sponsorship and other institutions and movements such as ethical sourcing of raw materials and community programs, redistribution of needs such as the creation of programs that aid social inequality. So that would be all. Thank you so much.